Hey there, kiddos. It's V5 Programming with Mr. T. Today we're going to talk about POTS, or potentiometers. Now, this is going to be really quick, really basic. Right in front of you is a potentiometer. Your potentiometer is basically an analog sensor, which means it has a range. And the sensor is amazing for very delicate programs or something that you need to be very specific on how much something can turn. So I put together a little aid just to give you an idea. But first, before we get into that, I just want to show you basically the setup of it. When you mount your potentiometer, you want to make sure to mount it so you can actually read the VEX on the actual potentiometer. This way you know which is left, which is right, which is 0, which is 4,095, or 0 degrees to 265 degrees. Now, what it looks like actually in person, when you mount that, here's what it looks like. So there's your actual VEX label right there. There's the badging or the tagging. It says potentiometer on the back. There you go. When you mount it, the easy way to mount it basically is just to get a couple screws and go ahead and mount it just like that. Now, it would not be a bad idea to throw a bearing on the back. However, just for the test bed or just a basic learning project, you guys will be doing everything by hand very delicately, so you want to be able to adjust that if you want without having to worry about anything else. All right, so you have it mounted like this, and this one has a frowny face because this one was a broken pot. All right, so let's take a quick look at the actual programming of it, but before that I'm going to show you. Basically, here's the thing. You have a potentiometer, and how you set it to zero it out to know at the very beginning of what 0 degrees or 0 in the analog range is. When you're looking at the word VEX, you actually turn this counterclockwise to the left and you stop gently. If you keep going, yes, you are strong enough to break through the inner mechanism of this, and it will break the potentiometer. Will it still actually have readings? Yes, but you really have no idea where certain things are located if you can't really zero it out. And so you can turn it to the right by hand, and when you feel that resistance, stop. If you keep going, I just snapped through the inner mechanism, which is why this one has a frowny face, and we're utilizing it as a basic example. Okay, so I'm going to zero mine out to the left, slight resistance, there we go. All right, so let's take a quick look at what it does, and then we can talk about programming another time. But, so you mount your potentiometer this way. You are at 0 on the left. Now, as I put right here, yes, you can break it and it will turn forever, and then you owe me $15 for it. The potentiometer has a range of 0 to 4,095, which this would be 0 all the way to the left, and then it would turn to 4,095, or 0 to 265 degrees. So when you actually turn it all the way to the left to 0, it's not down here at the bottom or anything, it's actually over here. And so this diagram shows you a few different things. It will turn both ways, but you do not want it to move past its actual stopping points. So when we look at the actual inner workings of this, this is the range you will be utilizing. This, you don't want to ever be there. This, if you actually broke yours, this would be a dead spot. That's why it's really hard to find out where the 0 would be located. So basically, you would start here and you turn it. So they also have, in your programming, you have a percentage. So that would be, you would look at it and be like, oh, well, this could be 0, and then your percentage goes farther from there. So this is the way you actually mount your pot, and this is the actual way that you program it. One thing I do want to mention, since you're doing this by hand, you actually have full control. However, if you were to mount it on a motor, which for learning how to program it, never ever do, a motor will 100% break your potentiometer because it is so strong. If you put it directly use the shaft to put it directly into the potentiometer, and you say, hey, turn it 50%, yeah, you just broke your potentiometer. So you need to find out and figure out how to make it go at a very, very, very slow controlled rate so you can actually program it without hurting your potentiometer. So that's pretty much it right there. So mounting your potentiometer, boom, there you go. That's how you do it, and you will start zeroing out to the left. And if you just want to see what will happen in your program, why don't you just do wait until a certain percentage and then have a motor turn on. So that way you can start this at 0, and then you hit download, and nothing's going to happen after your 3-second initial wait. And as soon as you reach a certain degree as you turn this, or a certain percentage, boom, your motor turns on. That is your approximate location of whatever percentage you typed in. And a little trial and error is pretty good, learning through inquiry. Go after it, enjoy it, try a few things, play with it, see how it works, and have a great day.